A month and a half after rioters smashed and torched parts of downtown Grand Rapids, several of the accused were back in court.
News 8's Susan Samples is here now with what happened. Susan?
Hey, 7 of 16 suspects in the Grand Rapids riots were in court today for a hearing to decide if there's enough evidence to send their cases to trial. But that hearing was postponed until early August. Even so, these 7 accused rioters did appear in court today, 5 men and 2 women, part of a 20-person virtual court hearing via Zoom. The judge heard arguments today from a defense attorney who says Kent County's prosecutors should be excused from the cases and a special counsel appointed because rioters damaged the building that houses the prosecutor's office, which presents a potential conflict of interest, he says.
I do not have to prove that there is impropriety. What I have to present to the court is that there is an appearance of impropriety.
Absolutely nothing from the Court of Appeals that definitively says this court has the authority to do what the defense is requesting.
61st District Court Judge Nicholas Ayub says he will rule on that argument at a later date. He also set the hearings at which actual evidence will be presented for early August. We will track what happens, of course. Live in studio control, Susan Samples, News 8.
The riot suspects were not the only ones in court today. Workers from some of the victim businesses were there too. Now this is video from the Sundance Grill surveillance camera. Grand Rapids police say it shows Olivia Hull breaking into the restaurant in the Waters building at Pearl and Ottawa. The head of marketing for Sundance Grill showed up at the courthouse this morning, called to testify about the restaurant surveillance system. But he was also looking forward to facing the suspects accused of smashing nearly 90% of the restaurant's windows.
A little bit nervous to be able to go in front of individuals that destroyed our own property, but it's also as part of the justice system, these individuals have to pay for their consequences for those things that they did.
Nicholas says Sundance sustained $14,000 in damage and lost around $11,000 in revenue. But he feels fortunate because the building's owner already had new glass on hand. So they were able to replace the broken windows in just a week's time. Ultimately, witnesses gave no testimony today because the hearing was postponed. But Nicholas says he'll be ready next time.